Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have a wonderful guest today coming onto the show, an iconic record producer, Nick Tauber. Stay tuned. I just want to make an official shout out to our show sponsors, Dreamweaver Artist Ranch. We are streaming live on mspnewsglobal.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we're also on the E360 TV network under Fresh Takes, going out to Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Roku, and many, many more. Let's bring in our incredible guest, Nick Tauber. Nick, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
I'm really looking forward to learning all about your career, Nick. I know it's been really iconic. I want to start with how you worked with the 70s rock band Thin Lizzy. Can you tell us all about that?
Well, I joined Decca Records as an assistant producer and A&R man. And as I joined, Thin Lizzy were finishing their first album. And I was running up and down the country, working for the guy that signed them, Frank Rogers. And the mixers came in and they weren't happy with it. And he asked me to have a go at mixing it. And it was a big improvement. They were happy. And so they asked me to do the next record, which I was honoured to do, which was an EP called New Day, which is very rare nowadays and very, very sought after. It's a good piece of music.
And would you say that was the starting point that led you into the next steps and opened doors of opportunity for you, Nick?
Yes. I mean, had produced, the Stones recorded there, everyone had recorded there. And I worked there, and I worked as an engineer with Cat Stevens. I was assistant to people like Black Sabbath, Genesis. I mean, and I worked with the guy that wrote It's All Right for Elvis Presley. So, I'd done a lot of work already. And so then I went to Decca and did 8 years. At that time, I was trying to sign Boomtown Rats, Police, U2, but Decca was at a stage where they weren't really being adventurous. But I got to produce 2 more Thin Lizzy albums, which was the first big one that led to their massive success was Vagabonds of the Western World, which is still one of the great records, and people ask me about it. I mean, it's a great record, and it was a privilege to work with Phil in it.
It's just a great path that you have led, Nick. And a little birdie as well has told me you had tea with Jimi Hendrix, the wonderful Richard Selwyn Barnett's told me about this.
Well, I didn't have tea with him. What I did was made him a cup of tea, because in the studio where I was the runner and the tea boy and the learner, I made tea for the artists, and I made him a cup of tea. He was a lovely man, very gentle, very calm. He was a real lovely man. Besides being a brilliant, brilliant guitarist, he was a nice guy.
My question is, did he enjoy your cup of tea?
Well, he drank it and asked for another one. Who knows? I didn't kill him, did I? You know what I mean?
No, I really would like to talk about this because she is a very household name. You worked and produced Toyah Wilcox in the 80s. Tell us all about that, Nick.
I did 5 albums with her. Well, I did a band called The Boys for Safari Records. And they thought I did a great job. The band were doing quite well. They weren't mega, but it was a good piece of work. And I got asked to produce a single for Toyah, which was It's a Mystery, which became a massive hit. And that started a long career with her. I did 2 more albums and a live album. She wrote all the songs with Joel Bogan, the guitarist, and it was a great privilege to work with her and Joel. I mean, they were a great band. Although I did, sadly, I did change all the band by Joel because we brought in new people, which at the time they weren't too happy about, but proved to be very successful. And they were very happy. And all of the band became great friends. And it's nice. And I think to this day, they're in contact and have a good friendship, which pleases me because music is about enjoying each other and making great music when you enjoy each other's company.
Sometimes hard decisions have to be made, changes, but then if it leads to big success, Nick, it's all worth those hard decisions and all the changes as well. And Toyah was really, really famous, wasn't she?
Well, she even is now. She still has a great name, and she still has a good career, and she makes records still. And she's married to Robert Fripp, who's that wonderful guitarist for King Crimson. And so, she's still in the creative world. She's a nice lady, very, very nice lady.
And she's gone on to do presenting and television shows as well, which is incredible. You also worked with Def Leppard, didn't you? Tell us a little bit about that, Nick.
With who? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
With Def Leppard. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, that's a good story. When I left Decca, I went to work with a company called Bronze Records. And they had Motorhead, Manfred Mann, Uriah Heep. They were doing really well. And these 2 guys from Sheffield came in and played with the tapes by Def Leppard. I absolutely loved it. I mean, they're a really good band. Them and Iron Maiden were the 2 leading lights in the new wave of heavy metal. Although they're not really heavy metal, they're sort of an AOR rock band, but they're a great band, Def Leppard, and I wanted to sign them. And the guy that owned the record company didn't want to sign them. So I left and made the first EP with Def Leppard, which was a hit, and it set them on the way. I just knew they were a great band. They're a nice bunch of guys. They were a really, really good band, and they had good ideas, and they had a lot going for them. I enjoyed working with them. They're good guys.
And what I like to hear about what you just said as well, Nick, you left and then you went on to work with them because you believed in them. And that's a true sign of following your passions and believing in yourself and your own beliefs. And again,
I just didn't see the point in I just didn't see the point of letting a band that good go. I just didn't see the point of it. And they were so good, I thought it was a no-brainer. But the guy that had the company didn't see it, so I thought, well, there's no point in staying here because no matter what I find, he won't sign it. That's why I left.
We have to take risks sometimes in life, Nick. And also, you work with Deep Purple. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
You do, yes. Tell us a little bit about Deep Purple.
Deep Purple live in London. I mixed Deep Purple live in London for Safari. It was a good record. They were a great band. It was a classic lineup. Richie Blackmore, Ian Gillan, Glover, John Lord, Ian Pace. It was just a classic Purple lineup. And I got to mix the live version of Smoke on the Water. What more can a producer want? You know what I mean? Lovely.
And how does it feel, Nick, when you hear music that you have produced on television, on the radio, going global? That must give you a lot of satisfaction.
So again, I'm not quite getting you there. What did you say?
When you hear a record
What did
on
you
the
say there,
television,
Mark?
sorry, when you hear a
Yeah.
record on the television or on the radio, that must give you a lot of satisfaction knowing
Yeah.
you've produced it.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, when people come up to me and say they absolutely love a record I've done, it's brilliant. It makes me feel that you've achieved something, you've brought pleasure to someone, and that they've got a lot of pleasure from it. That's for me, that's why I do this, because I'm doing it now. I've got a new band called The Curious, who are going to be massive, absolutely massive, and a new singer-songwriter called Charlie James, and he's on his way to be big. When I still work really hard, you know, a lot, 16 hour days, 7 days a week, because this is what I love. You know, when a photographer, a very famous photographer, came up to me a little while ago and said, the reason I'm a photographer in the music industry is because of the track you did, Little Darling, with Thin Lizzy. Makes me feel great. It's like fantastic. Someone really gets something off what you do. That's why I do it.
I just love that you want to keep on doing that work. That shows that you're really passionate about what you love and what you're doing with the artists. Now, my mum was really excited about this one as well. I have to be careful how I pronounce it, but you also worked with Marillion as well. Marillion.
So again, because I'm getting quite a bad line here with you, Marky, old boy.
Don't worry.
What did you say?
My mum got excited about this one. I have to be careful how I pronounce it. You also work with Marillion. Marillion.
Oh yes. I did their first big albums. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, they were good guys. They're still going now. They're a very, very good band and a really nice bunch of guys. Yeah,
and I
enjoyed that a lot. Yeah,
I've got a few more that you have worked with. You've worked with the Slits, Stiff Little Fingers, and Spear of Destiny as well, haven't you?
Yeah, they're towards the 90s, that lot. Yeah.
Well, that's was really great.
Good, yeah. I mean, the Slits were a girl band that went on. Yeah, it was. I mean, there's still lots of good bands out there now. It's just whether the business wants to embrace them. I mean, I think they're going to have to, because they're the sort of long-term acts that give record companies large amount of content. I mean, they're still, you know, putting out Zeppelin albums, Beatles albums, you know, all sorts of things of all sorts of people. There's been an iconic Beach Boys album just come out, revamped. I mean, this is stuff that is always going to be, but those bands that you can use as catalogue have to be around for 30 years. And that doesn't happen without a lot of hard work and a lot of development. You know, I'm all for the music. Well. I'm a big fan of Adele, you know, and Ed Sheeran and Weekend and all those. I'm a massive fan. I love Sam Fender. I think he's brilliant. But you still have to make acts that have long-term value. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't help keep the record companies going. And they're the big bands that turn over albums and things like that. And I'm a great believer in that an album has has big value as much as a single. And I think it's been degraded a bit because things are a little bit slightly instantaneous because of the web. So, you know, I just think we should put more value and more time into developing acts that have albums. You know, everyone from Annie Lennox, from Billie Eilish, you know, all these great people that are out there now, ready to go. You know, there's a lot of good talent out there. It's just not to the blueprint that singles are made to now. These sort of acts take time, 2 years, maybe 3 years. But once you've got them there, filling stadiums, you know, selling lots of records, selling merchandise, adding to people's catalogue, this is very important.
It's a sign that times have changed a little bit with the digital era, but we all have to adapt with changes and the times. But you are working on some great artists at the moment.
Yeah, I think we've got to learn to embrace change and not to fight it. You've got to learn to embrace it and use it. There's no good saying, oh, things were better in the old days. That's rubbish. It's rubbish. Things were great in the old days. Things could be even better today. It's just stop. You know, I don't like people that, oh, yeah, this, and they all sound the same. It's rubbish. You know, embrace the new and get value from them, as well as appreciating what's gone as well. I still play a Beatles record. I still play a Dylan record. I still play a Joni Mitchell record. But I love the Ed Sheeran stuff. I love Sam Fender. I think Weekend is amazing. You know, I love Kanye West. It's not about decrying one to love the other. They all have value. You know, if you go to the Tate Gallery, you don't think a Monet is much better than Michelangelo. They're just bloody great, both of them.
Yes.
That's how it should work. You know?
That's a great outlook, Nick. Embrace the new while still appreciating the old. I absolutely love that. Nick, we're just going to take a 1-minute commercial and then we will talk about what you're doing now and all the projects you're working on now.
Dan,
we're just going to a 1-minute commercial, so stay where you are.
It's just a very bad line. Sorry.
Don't worry. We're going to a 1-minute commercial, so stay where you are and we will be back in 1 minute. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for part 1 of Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business.
Hello everybody, Cyberchuck 2.0 here. I'm so excited to be able to share my vision of Dreamweavers Artist Ranch. They say you can't choose your family. Not only am I saying you can choose your family, you get to thrive with your family here at Dreamweavers Artist Ranch. It's a place for like-minded individuals to come together to share experiences and gain experiences, not only through workshops, through performances, and through exhibits. This is a place where you can disconnect from the outside world and reconnect into a community of people that there is no judgment. There's only support. And this place is an amazing place to grow and to tap into your highest potential and to be able to show off all your talents. This is a place you can come and network and really thrive. I'm so excited for Dreamweavers Artist Ranch. This is a place where dreams actually come true. I love you all so very much. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.
Welcome back to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. We are joined with the incredible Nick Tauber, record producer. We have talked all about Nick's past.
I'm here.
He's here. We can hear you, Nick. Welcome back to Brilliance Business TV.
Great.
I just want to touch on what you're working on.
I managed to go to technology.
I'm just happy to have you here.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I love talking about music. I could talk forever.
So you're working on some great projects right now.
Watch out for The Curious, really good band, amazing band. Just had signed to a brand new management. A girl called Alina Kay, chill out girl. She's had 2 number 1s on Spotify, and a singer-songwriter called Charlie James, who is about to become absolutely enormous. So, still doing it, still hoping I'm entertaining people, keeping the faith, I mean, music will never die. It's everywhere. Shops, churches, stations, everywhere. Music is the backdrop to our lives, and we've got to embrace it and be encouraging.
You're also working with Professor Charles Knowles, the rock star doctor, and Breeze Red Wine, who is a female vocalist, a songwriter as well, aren't you, Nick?
Yes, that's right. That's right. And I'm sort of mentoring people as well. I'm always helping people and doing my best to make sure that I encourage the young to get off, to get in and take a chance and use their talent.
Nick, you're a true icon in the artist industry, the music industry. You're a great record producer. I know you're giving me your time today in between a really busy schedule, but thank you so much for coming on to the Brilliance Business TV show. I'd encourage everyone to follow Nick Tauber on LinkedIn. That's Nick Tauber. Give him a follow, connect with him on LinkedIn.
And if anyone's got anything they think that could be good and that I can help, just get hold of me, and I'll do my best for anyone that does get hold of me.
You have also been doing a little bit of work with Lauren as well, haven't you, with Lady Kendall Jagger?
Yes, I've just started that. That looks good. That looking very good.
She has a wonderful voice. Lauren is
She's very talented.
Who spoke she sang on a promenade in the dark because she was scared to sing with being seen. Yeah. She's going to do amazing. She's got an incredible voice. She's coming on to Brilliance Business TV, to my Brilliance Business radio show soon.
I'll be working with her over the next. Yeah, I'm working. I'm helping her over the next few months, Mark. So it's lovely. Really nice.
Nick, thank you so much.
She's someone for the future.
She really is. She's really talented. And the story of not being able to show herself because she was scared and on a promenade, but now she's being seen and heard, which is absolutely incredible. I'm so glad that you're working with her. Nick, thank you so much for coming on to the Brilliance
I'm just
Business
excited.
Show.
Thank you for having me. And just remember, everyone keep listening to music. It's great.
Everyone keep listening to music. You have been watching Brilliance Business TV Conversations.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.